Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to start, you can go ahead, but yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you can
so
announce
you're
that.
aware of Kaido being stated to be the strongest creature? I believe that Akainu is a creature that should put him above.
Okay. So I think that Akainu is a creature such that Kaido being the strongest creature is something that's going to get him above as a fighter.
Mm-hmm. Do you disagree with him being a creature or something?
Well, I'm not sure. Okay, so is it like any type of creature?
Wait.
Like, is this just the creatures implicator?
Wait, Gyro.
Yeah, what's up?
Can I have the invite link real quick?
Can you clarify what you mean by this? Because the strongest is
Wait.
the term.
One second.
Gyro, Rizwan wants to join.
Oh yeah. Invite link, yeah. Wait, don't mute prophecy. Hold on. Yeah, you can have an invite link. One sec.
Wait, why is Westbound muted? What the fuck?
Prophecy muted, yeah. Just don't invite like anyone random, but
No,
yeah,
I'm just inviting Rizwan. Just providing Rizwan.
yeah. Wait, sorry, Isaac, what'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, okay, so I mean I'm pretty sure you're aware that strongest as a term would just refer to anyone that fits under that term, right? Someone went
Anyone that fits under that's I'm not
yeah,
asking
because
about
if you use
strongest
the
on.
term
We can
strongest
investigate.
and then you connect it with creature, then it refers to all creatures, because in order to be the strongest, you'd have to be stronger than all creatures. So I'm confused on what the contention is. Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
No,
But you can
I
specify.
wasn't like attending anything yet. I'm just trying to get clear on the
Okay.
terms. Okay, so you think it's any creature, and then you think that being a creature such that you fit under the statement to get you to be a weaker fighter than Kaido. And again, that just means that you have like a higher chance of losing to Kaido than beating Kaido.
Yeah, you have a higher chance of losing, correct?
Okay, what's the argument for that?
Well, the argument for that is we have a direct inverse contextualization that says, okay, within land, sea, and air, always bet on Kaido. I'm sure you're aware of the statement, right?
I know the statement, but the point is, if you're going to use that statement, you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot.
Why?
If you use that statement to contextualize like the author's statements, then it seems like the contextualization would make it that it's also contextualized to a rumor. And then if you don't use that contextualization, sorry, I don't know why I keep saying it like that. Then we're not really clear on the terms there to which you say that.
Well, I mean, it can be a rumor and it can be true at the same time. I don't see how that's like really a defeater. Are you questioning whether or not it would be true and a rumor? Or are you saying that because it's a rumor? Let me finish. Are you saying that because it's a rumor that gives us the reason to say that it's not true? Because if that's what you're saying,
I'm not saying it's a rumor.
But if you're saying the first thing, I can answer whatever questions you have.
I'm trying to see whether or not your argument tracks. So I'm saying that clearly it's not like deductively sure, whereas it's sort of an inductive claim. And if it's an inductive claim, then it seems like if it's a rumor, then you have to say that the rumor is truth tracking, such that when the rumor is held, or when the rumor is held such that Kaido is called the strongest creature in this case, then it seems like Kaido is actually stronger than everyone else.
I understand that, but independent of the rumors truth tracking, we can get into that later. We also have statements that just outright call him the strongest instead of saying he's said to be the strongest or putting the strongest in quotations. I think that because of the distinctions that we have within the text, it's better to take it that he is actually the strongest.
No, but I'm saying that if you want to take the contextualization taken with the rumor statement, if you want to look at other statements that don't actually contextualize it to be a rumor, then we can look at that. But then we can still have to get. No, hold on, I'm not done speaking. Sorry, I'm not done speaking.
Okay.
But then we still have to get over the semantics for the claims there, or for the statements there.
So,
right, so like, do you have any other statements, or is that it?
Wait, do you think that I'm not responding to something?
Yeah, I don't think you're responding. I said that if it's like an inductive claim, then you're gonna have to argue for the rumor to be something which is like probability increasing there. And then if you don't argue for other statements to be that they're arguing for Kaido to be the strongest in like a relevant sense, then it seems like we can just move on from the conversation to my part of the debate.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that those other statements that call him the strongest outright are going to be referring to different titles or the same title? Because I think they would be referring to the same title.
I don't know what they're referring to.
Hold on. And then secondly, I think that the rumors would truth track in this case because I think that they're related to survivability. Like you see this big, strong guy like Kaido, and then you just like you use your instincts to infer how strong this guy is, or you use your survival intuition to infer how strong this guy is. I think that because of that, that should add some credibility to Kaido's title. Additionally, we do know that people in the One Piece world have access to the people that Kaido fights. Wait, hold up. He's a pirate, so he fights people publicly.
Cannot like do like 3 things at a time.
Yeah.
You
can
said
go.
several things. You said that like your first thing. What was that meant to be? Like you said, hold on. Like you asked me like what could it be in reference? I don't know what's it in reference to. But I'm just saying that like you're gonna have to like guide me there to say that like your argument is actually irrelevance and not irrelevance. All right. But then
Oh
besides
yeah.
that,
Okay. I think it's in
uh
reference to the same thing. I can explain why.
hold on. For
Okay.
the truth, like for the intuition thing, are you just saying that they're inferring it from the fact that Kata is like what, like unkillable? Like what's the inference there?
Yeah, that he's unkillable, that he's just this big, strong guy. It's kind of like the same way that when you see a bear, even if you don't know nothing about a bear, like a caveman could make the inference that the bear is probably stronger than them and they have good reason to run away from the bear. You use
Okay,
your
so
survival instincts to make an inference about how strong they are.
so it doesn't just okay. Do you want me to explain what that just shoots yourself in the foot, or because you're saying that okay, well you have not only a rumor, but it's a rumor about something which is arguably not generalizable, say, to the entirety of a fight or the overarching fight. Right. So like, that's what you're saying there. So I don't know what it means to be survivable in the fight.
Oh no,
And I
not
don't know how
really.
that translates to a fight.
Hold on,
And then I
can I
don't even know
contend the first
those
thing?
rumors. Hold on a second.
Okay.
And when I tagged the rumors specifically, I wasn't talking about like what the rumors are spanning over. Obviously, just contextualize them. But I'm asking you whether or not they're generalizable to, or they're like basically the entire populace or most of the populace to say that this person is actually going to be stronger than other people. Right. That's all I'm saying there.
Okay, when you say that you're questioning if it's generalizable, yeah, what is the specific thing you're contending there? And then again, can you re-explain how I'm
I'm
shooting
asking you
myself
like
in the foot?
what, like if it's like an inductive claim, then whether or not the induction is actually strong, because I know that like you can have like a rumor that would support the given claim. I'm fine with that.
Okay, what do you
Right?
mean by a
But
strong induction here? Like,
a
do you mean
strong
just one that's
induction is like an
probability
induction
raising,
that
or
actually like non-trivially probability raising.
okay,
But
non-trivially probability raising?
yeah, right.
What
So like,
does
for
that
example,
mean?
if I have
Like,
an induction, hold on, if I have an sorry, 1 second. If I have like an induction of one case, sorry, there's like an echo. If I have like an induction of one case, that seems like it's not going to be like a very interesting induction to bring up when I'm trying to talk about like a, like a claim spanning over like the whole world or something, right? So saying in the context of the narrative or for the narrative, you're making a claim that since there's like a case where there's rumors of characters going around saying that Kaido is the strongest, then he's actually the strongest. I'm asking you to show me that it's actually going to be like irrelevant probability increaser for the claim that Kaido is actually the strongest. Right. So when you tell me that he's survivable, it seems like he's survivable. Obviously, you can have like intuitions about how survivable a person is, like from a bear, for example. But then when you say that, it seems like they don't even have intuitions about how strong he is. They have intuitions about how survivable he is. And then whether or not that connects to his fighting power is also like a little bit weird. But even then, even if people could have proper intuitions, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you whether or not these intuitions are actually accurate in regards to other characters.
okay, so are you questioning the sample size for like the consensus that I'm using here?
Well, you could say that as well, but that's not all, right?
Okay, so then
For
what is the
example,
thing
like, do you think
specifically
that,
you're contending for
yeah,
the
like, for
induction
example, do you
point?
think that the people who say that Kaido is the strongest, they saw other characters fight?
Oh yeah, I do. I mean, I can explain why. I think that it's likely, given the fact that pirates are just a very big threat, and given the fact that pirates fight publicly.
What? Hold on, they're a big threat, so that's why other people saw them fight? I'm asking about the people that say that, hold on. Obviously, other people see pirates
Oh
fight.
no,
That's
sorry,
like
I
the obvious
misspoke.
thing.
Not necessarily saw them fight, but they should have information on the fights that they've been in and how strong they are, given the fact that they get documented from the world government and
No,
these
you're just
other
saying that,
fighters.
you're just saying there's like
Well,
some chance that they know that, hold on. They,
no.
wait,
I'm not saying there's some chance. I'm saying that it would be likely
Isaac, let me
off of
explain to
what
you
they
why,
know.
because
They should have
since
a
you don't
general
know who
desire to want
actually,
to protect
hold on,
themselves.
hold on. You understand that since you don't know who actually made the rumors, you don't know the specific people who actually made the rumors. The route you want to go there is that for people like Shanks, people like Akainu, people like those people, it's going to be generally public knowledge for people to know how strong these people are. Right? You're not going to say that, okay, well, these people's fights are available, because that's not really what I'm asking there. If they're available, that's great, which by the way, I'm not sure about specifically Akainu in this case. But like, are you going to argue for that, or?
Yeah, okay, but I want to go one thing at a time. First, we can argue about the Akainu's fights being available, and then what was the other thing that you questioned? Let me just write this down
I'm
real quick.
saying like, yeah, like there's just a bunch of things to go over here because it's a rumor, which would be much
Okay,
easier
hold
to
up.
go over if it's like an objective claim from the author. Which again, it's really hard to go over because the author never actually specifies this, or never actually specifies his semantics for the title, right?
Yeah, okay, so you're questioning if Akainu's fights are available, and then you're also questioning whether or not him
Not
being the
available,
world's
but like, hold on. Like available would be part of it, but I'm just saying, do you think most people in the One Piece verse actually know how strong Akainu is? That's what I'm asking you. Such that, like, if there's a rumor going around that this guy is stronger than Akainu, then at the bare minimum, we can even consider the rumor to be plausibly, accurate to any degree.
Yeah, then you also questioned who made the rumor, and then what was the last thing? Because you questioned like 4 things.
Well, not who made the rumor. Like, it's impossible to specify who made the rumor. That's not what I'm asking there. I mean, we can just go over these 2 things for this, like, for the time being, and then we can go over anything else that we have.
Yeah, are Akainu's fights available? I think that's a pretty like stupid question, or like silly question at least, because we literally see him fight at Marineford, which is like a publicly documented war. Firstly, and he's an admiral, and we know that the admirals are meant to represent the strongest fighters in the Navy. So if they're meant to represent this image for the Navy, I think that there's a very, very high probability that that their fighting prowess should be something public, thus to intimidate the people that are opposing the Navy.
What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Okay, we can
You
go
hear
with
what I
the.
said?
I mean, obviously, like, okay. So Marineford obviously is documented. Not sure how well it's documented, but I'm not gonna say that you can't see a kind of fight there because you probably can. So I'm asking there.
Wait. Does how well it's
What I'm asking
documented
there
in this
is,
context
hold on. Do you
matter?
think that like it's, dude? First of all, if you're talking about Marineford only, then I kind of get stronger for Marineford, so we can just disregard that. Second of all,
In what
with
way?
the
Like irrelevantly?
Marineford, hold on, with the Admiral title scan or whatever you said for the Admirals thing, uh, you just said a bunch of word salad. I don't know how, like how being an admiral is supposed to say that you're gonna represent or you're gonna be represented properly in the media such that people see you fight. Like, what does that even mean?
I already explained why.
No, because you're gonna represent power, but what does that even mean? All right, so why did those 2 things connect?
No. It's not just that they represent power. It's the fact that they represent the strongest fighters in the Navy. That's what I was telling
Right.
you.
Okay. So like, what does that even mean? Obviously, you can. Hold on. Do you think there's like some
What does
issue?
that mean?
Do
Yeah,
you
I
think it's like
explained this as
logically
well.
impossible for? Hold on. Do you think it's like logically impossible for a fighter
No.
to represent
I'm not
power
making a
or
deductive
represent to
argument.
be like the strongest fighter in the given organization and not be publicly known to fight, or people actually know, like a random layman knows how they fight?
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that
Is it like
because
is it less likely? Because I mean, I'd say it's less. I'd say it's less likely than like a random marine not being known how to fight. Obviously, I'd say
yes,
that.
I'll explain why.
But I'm asking you, like, dude, the whole point of us going over this is to examine or investigate whether or not you have an actual adequate case to say that the rumors are going to be accurately reflecting whether or not Akainu is actually stronger or weaker than Akainu. All you told me so far is that his outdated war is recorded, and then he's a admiral, which is a representation of power. What does that even mean?
Wait, hold up. That's not all I said. Okay, so he's an admiral. That's a representation of power, but that's not like the main thing that I'm saying. I'm saying that because he's a representation of power, that in order to intimidate people to not oppose the Navy, they're going to want to know how strong the admirals are to know what the
Well,
consequences of
hold on.
opposing the
Obviously, they
Navy actually.
know.
Wait,
Obviously, they
hold
know
up,
they're like
You,
really
you said 2
strong.
things.
But
Can I just welcome?
bro,
Okay, yeah, and then you said it's outdated. Okay, maybe in some way it kind of got stronger, like he hockey bloomed or something like that. But I don't think that's like relevant to like his physicals. I don't think he got stronger in a relevant way. If you're gonna argue that he did get stronger in a relevant way, I'd like to see the argument for that. But you can
wait, hold
go.
on, what?
But I
Hold
repeated
on,
it like
everyone
twice.
vote
I'll
in the
repeat it
polling
again.
chat.
Okay.
Yeah, no, hold on. Everyone vote in the polling chat. But if you want me to prove that I kind of get stronger, I can do that. But
No,
hold
that's not what
on.
I asked you.
I'm asking you not whether or not they know anything of their power. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you whether or not you know enough of your power to actually make an accurate statement on how strong a kind of is. Obviously, the Navy, presumably, like I don't know how they actually work, but they'd want to hype up the admirals to some degree. But whether or not that allows me to make an accurate assessment on how strong they are. For example, we can talk about debaters, and you can say, okay, well, XYZ debater is this strong, this fucking fast, whatever. That tells me something, that gives me like a semantic valuation of how strong they are. but I can't actually make an accurate reflection in my own mind. I can actually internalize it because I never
Okay.
saw them applied accurately. Or I never saw the full extent of their power with my own eyes.
Yeah, I understand. You believe that there needs to be a certain threshold in order for them to make like a likely claim about how strong they are. Well, I don't know if that's the case. Like,
Can you
for
fucking
example, I'll,
can
I'll give
you
you an
vote?
analogy.
Oh, fuck.
Hold up.
Okay, good.
So
Yeah.
let's say that you have two guys, and then the only thing that you know about the two guys is that one is physically stronger than the other guy. At least at face value, you're more justified in believing that the guy who's physically stronger, or at least to your knowledge, you're more justified in saying that he would probably win in a fight, correct? So if I'm just trying to make like a probable
What?
inference, I don't think I need to
Wait, hold
know
on, what?
100% about their strength.
What? Okay, hold on. I don't agree with that, first
Can you
of
answer
all.
the question? Like, do you disagree with
What's
the
the
analogy
question?
or something?
Yeah, I disagree with the analogy, but I don't know what you said there. Clearly, I'm
You
asking for
don't know what I said
clarification.
in the analogy, or where? Because how could you
No, you
disagree
said
with it if
that,
you don't
okay,
know
well,
what I
at
said?
face value, it'd be more justified to say that someone who's physically stronger than other being
Wait, no,
is
that's not what I
like
said.
probably more,
What I
like
said
probably
is
stronger overall, is that what you said?
no. Let me clarify. What I said is that if you have two guys, and the only information you know about these two guys is that one is physically stronger than the other, do you not think that it's more intuitive to say, based on your knowledge, the guy who's physically stronger would probably win in a fight?
Well, I'm not sure, but that's not what I'm asking you there. Hold on, is that like in relation
What are
to
you
people
asking me
knowing
then?
that? What? Hold on, can I finish? I'm saying that. Excuse me. So is that just in relation to people knowing that Kata is physically stronger? Because we didn't get over that either.
Oh, no. That's not what it's in relation to. What it's in relation to is where you said that they don't know a kind who's full strength. I mean, I guess another thing that I can say to this is even if they don't know his full strength, like they're seeing him use his devil fruit, his hockey, his physical strength, like
Who's
things that he
they?
presumably would
People,
use.
hold on. Who's they? Like random people in Marineford, yeah. Like, do you think those are the same people that are
Wait, it was
contributing
being
to the rumor?
broadcasted. I already told you. Did you forget?
Right. No, that's the point. You being able to witness the war is not the same as people who actually are conducive towards the rumor actually witnessing the war. You know that?
I understand that, but what happened within the war gets documented. Like we get told that Akainu
But
fought
that's not,
Whitebeard.
bro. Okay, hold on. I told you that's why we have to get through two parts of the conversation. We have to get through whether or not they're even able to actually witness some power of Akainu, which, by the way, I mean, sure they can. It's possible. Do you think they did? Like, do you think that people who are conducive towards the rumor actually have any way of knowing how strong Akainu is besides like fucking watching an outdated war, which we don't even know if they did?
Wait, no, bro. That's not what I said. But we can move on to the other
That's not what
contentions,
you
I guess.
said. What'd you say then? We're not moving on.
Yeah, okay, so what I told you is that there's the documentation as well as when it was being broadcasted. So it's these two things, not just the broadcast.
Like, hold on, you think it's like documented on paper? Is that what you said? Because either way, like all that means is that I don't care if you have like 1,000 way of
Yeah.
documenting it. All that means is that it'd be more accessible hypothetically than hi, I'm about to block you. Holy fuck. Anyways, sorry. There can be like 1,000 ways of documenting the battle, but if where people who are conducive to the rumor don't see it, or you think that it's going to be conducive towards it being likely that they saw it, that's just irrelevant, right? So that's why I
Oh,
asked you two
I
parts.
understand that. That's why we can get into the people that are conducive towards the rumor
Right,
for that
but you
point.
just don't know that. I don't know how you're gonna get into that. But anyway, for the kind of
Oh,
getting stronger thing, he just like, do you want me to explain why he got stronger? Or you just want to accept that he did get stronger?
I want you to explain it, but can we get into the rumor thing? Because I think that it's more
Yeah, sure.
relevant.
I'll explain. Haki blooms usually
Yeah,
happen when you
okay,
have like a
so
strong
when you're
card
asking
or like
who's
a close fight.
conducive towards the rumor,
But
are
hold on,
you
I'm not
asking
done.
who?
Hold on, let's get out with this first, and then we can get to the rumor stuff.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. So he had probably the closest fights in the story with Kuzan, and then when he fought Kuzan, he probably Haki bloomed. If he Haki bloomed, then he probably got stronger. And then Haki blooms are just conducive towards you getting much stronger.
You know, originally I was saying that like he might have hockey bloom, but now I'm thinking, I mean, yeah, it's one of the longest fights in the series, but like I guess that depends on how much um potential he has to like unlock new hockey. So if it is the case that he has potential
What?
to unlock new hockey, then yeah. Do you think that hockey is like an infinite
Potential
potential
to
thing, or you can
unlock new
infinitely grow your
Haki?
hockey? I'm not too sure if that's the case.
What? I don't think you. I'm not sure if you can infinitely grow your Haki. I'm just saying that going through fights like this is generally going to end up in you getting a Haki bloom. Right? That's what we see in the story. Just have an inductive case towards it.
Okay, so for long fights, giving you hockey. Like Haki blooms?
Like long, close, excruciating fights giving you Haki, yeah. Like
Yeah, and
not
then you're
Haki, I mean
referring.
like just a general Haki, like Haki bloom going with stat boost, like whatever it is.
Okay, I can probably grant this, but I want to see like what are the examples?
Like examples, like any Luffy fights, like Luffy versus Katakuri, Luffy versus Kaido, Kaido versus Zoro, fucking I don't fucking know, like just think of any close fight, like it's probably gonna be a Haki bloom there. Like just give me an example, throw it out the
Oh,
hat.
okay. So for Zoro versus Luffy, and
Oh
or no,
my
not
fucking
Zoro versus
god.
Luffy, Zoro versus Kaido and Luffy versus Kaido. You said that, and then did you say Luffy versus Katakuri?
Well, let's
I
just
think that
let's get all the examples of Haki blooms in the story. Let me just search it up for you. All
okay,
Haki
but
blooms.
from what I've seen from these examples, I can agree that there's some sort of inductive case here. But what I want to say here is that it seems like a lot of these fighters are more physically orientated to where they're going to be exerting their armament Haki against each other more often than I think Akainu and Aokiji would. I think they have distinct fighting styles in the
What?
sense that Akainu and Aokiji rely on their devil fruit a lot as well. I know that they rely a lot on their Haki, but I don't think they rely as much because they have these devil fruit abilities.
I don't know what it
that
means
can
to rely on Haki. What does that mean there?
Oh, rely on Haki, it just means like how often you use it, how integral it is to your overall fighting style. That's what I mean by somebody
How often
quote
you use
unquote
it?
relying on Haki.
I don't know about how. Obviously, if you have more tools to actually dispose of within the fight, it seems like it's going to be less integral, quote unquote. So, I mean, that's just trivially true. But presumably, if it doesn't affect how much or how often or how potently they use Haki, which I'm not sure if that would, because you can use Haki with devil fruits, then there seems like there's no actual relevant difference between how they fight.
Yeah, okay. Do you think that you can coat armament Haki onto like Akainu's fucking magma fist or like I think Kuzan's ice he could do that
It's an extension of
probably.
his body. I don't know why not. Like, do you think it's impossible or something?
I mean, I don't know like if it's impossible. It's just
Like, you think it's like physically impossible?
I just
Because
don't know
again,
like
it's just an
if he
extension
can't
of
do
his
it. That's the
body.
thing.
If you ask me like whether or not there's like no issue within like a given system where you think it's like modally impossible, then
No,
I
not
don't know what
totally
that means there.
impossible. I just don't know if it can happen within the series. Okay.
Well, within the series, again, the Delphus is just an extension of your body. If you can apply it to your body, then it seems like you'd be able to apply it to Delphus, and that's there's like an explicit reason saying otherwise, right? So that's what it means. If you want me to give you like
Okay.
inferential
So
proof for why,
firstly, where are
well,
you
not
deriving
that
this seeming
talking.
from? And then secondly, I think that we have reason against it.
What?
Don't you think that this would be, or it's
Why am
expected
I
that this would
deriving
be
this saying
visually
that this is
depicted?
the extension of the body? Which said. Also, I
No,
didn't hear.
Okay. Why do you think that because it's an extension of the body that gives us seemings towards it being the case that
I'm not saying it's
because,
I'm not saying it's a seeming. I'm saying that if you can apply Haki to your body, and the Delphoid is an extension of your body, then seemingly again, or you can say it's a seeming, but I'm just saying that there's like an inference there for saying that you would be able to apply it to your body with the
yeah,
Delphoid
I
form.
understand that, but don't you think that we would have seen like
Like we see the whole,
Aokiji
we see it with
or
like 20 characters
kind of
long. Do you
just
not? Sorry.
no, yeah, we see this with many characters, but with like these characters specifically who use Logia abilities, I don't know if we ever see it with Logia abilities, and I think that we
Well, we
would
see it
see
with
this
Kizaru
because
first of all,
you're
but point is
incentivized to using
again,
it in combat.
on. We see the fight pre-time skip. They don't show Haki. They're obviously not gonna fucking see Haki there. First of all, second of all, we see it with Kizaru, who's a Logia, just like the other admirals are. Third of all, again, if you want to tell me that it's impossible to some degree, then generally speaking, I don't know if you know that, but you don't usually ask someone to prove that something is like valid within a system. That's not really reasonable to ask for, right? Or something is possible within
Huh?
like a given system.
Wait,
So
what claim do you think I'm making about validity? I'm so like
I'm not saying it's like a logical possibility there. Like presumably it'd be like a metaphysical possibility, or like a physical possibility. But it seems like it's unreasonable to ask me to prove that it's possible because we don't have a full flesh out of like the laws of metaphysics and physics in One Piece. And then
no,
even then,
I
it seems
understand why
like
you would
the way
see it
that
as
the body
unreasonable.
usually functions is obviously fine for like a person to have like a magma body. Whereas like when you apply it to your usual body, then again, like we have just a stronger case to say that you'd be able to apply it to the magma body as well.
Wait, listen, bro. At face value, you might think that it seems to be unreasonable, but I think in this context, it's not. The reason why is I don't think
Why?
that we see it with Kizaru. Actually, can you show me that? And then Kizaru's host time skip, so you can't use the excuse that you used with the Kainu, where Haki is just not shown pre time skip. But then we see Kizaru fight Luffy on Egghead, and then presumably he doesn't encode
You think he
Haki.
doesn't? What?
Yeah, no, but
Like
we don't see
I
the
think
same
when
expected indicators like
I think
his
when you have like a
fucking
laser going
his sword
on,
turning
like
black.
I think when you have a laser going around, I think it's harder to say that you'd be able to encode in the Haki, or maybe you can. I'm not sure, but
Wait,
I
that's
don't know how
evidence against
Kizar
your
does it.
view.
No, it's not. I'm not sure if you can do something that's detached from your body, or like encode something that's detached from your body. That's not that's never what I fucking said. I said that
Wait,
as
but he
long as it's
uses that as a
attached to the
sword,
center of
though,
your
bro.
body.
See,
Sorry?
you can encode Haki onto swords, so I don't see why
Yeah,
Kizaru
it's an
wouldn't be able
extension
to
of your
use it.
body. Right. So that's what I'm saying. If you can extend it onto things that are not even inanimate or not even animate like parts of your body, then it seems like we just have an overwhelming case where say that like a guy who's fucking able to put Haki on his body, like, very clearly. Right. So I'm saying that if you think that
Seemingly why?
Kizaru doesn't do it, then that's a claim against Kizaru's character. I don't know what's happening with Kizaru, but I'm just saying that if Akainu is a smart fighter, he's gonna use Haki, which we know he does.
No. It's not a claim against Kizaru's character. You think Kizaru's stupid to where he doesn't make smart combat decisions or
Well,
something?
I don't know, but like we don't know enough about the nature of the Elfrits or Haki to say that. But all we know is that like I gave you just a case in which
Okay.
Akainu probably did use Haki, and then there's no relevant distinction in how Akainu fights and how Zor fights and all these guys. So again, like if you fight an excruciating fight, which is what's stated, it's gonna seem like you're gonna go much stronger. If you grow much stronger through an excruciating fight, and it kind of goes to the most excruciating fight in the story, then clearly he got fucking stronger, right? Especially with people who go through much less close fights, much less close, and they still grow stronger, right? So that's just an obvious point. So
Wait,
if you want to go
Gyro,
back to the rumor, then we can, but it seems like you just lost
hold up.
this
Do you
point.
not think that there's an expectancy that if it is the case that Kizaru's an admiral, that since he's an admiral, he should have some level of general battle IQ? If he wants to defend himself, he'd be more incentivized into encoding
Holy
armament
fuck,
Haki onto
dude.
his swords. Now, I know that circles back to the previous point,
Dude,
but I just wanted to address
we
one
talked
thing from the
about this
previous.
before. Hold on, we talked about this before. I don't
When?
care what the character ought to do. Like, I don't care about what the character ought to be like a smart fighter. I'm saying that as long when we scale, we make descriptive claims about what we actually scale, and then when we look at how Kizaru fights, the descriptive claim there is that for some reason, in some cases, he didn't use Haki, but like, he still used Haki in a lot of cases within the Luffy fight. But point being is
Can you
that
show me that?
if you wanna, sure, like the first fucking, literally the first instance
Does he
of
use it like in
the guy
context to his
fucking
lasers
hitting.
or his
Hold on,
abilities?
I'm not done speaking, Colin. Sorry. Literally, the first instance of the fight, he used Haki to block Luffy. But dude, I'm not gonna get that. Like, point is, if you want to make those claims against Kizaru, that's fine. Like, that'll just make him a dumb character. I don't care what he ought to do in the story. That's not what we do when we scale characters. We don't make like prescriptive claims, right? So that's all I have to say there.
Okay, do you want to move on from this point? We can get into the other thing.
Yeah, sure, man. Like, do you have like an actual
Yeah,
reason
what was
for
the other
why
thing that you
like reasons
called into
are?
question?
Yeah, like overarchingly, do you think there's like any reasons for the rumor to be like conducive to any sort of probability or?
Oh yeah, no, but that was basically where you were questioning the scope of the rumor, like who created the rumor, and you also said that how many people believe it, like the sample size.
Dude, I can go even further. Like, there's like we literally know nothing about the rumor for us to take it as credible.
Okay,
So you
okay,
don't
well,
know how many people actually believe it. It could be literally one person, by the way. You don't know who that person is. You don't know whether or not he's an accurate, he's an accurate interpreter of fights. You don't know anything about the said person that actually created the rumor, and you take the contextualization of the rumor to be something which is at all relevant to us as scalers. Obviously, it's not. Like, it's just
well,
not
no,
relevant at all.
because we see the rumor is said by Skull, like Skull seems to believe it, and then we see like other characters refer back to the rumor as well. So we have a consistency of people believing it. I don't think that hold up, I don't think that I need to
I'll just stop and
dive
say.
too closely into like the sample size, because even
Wait,
if it
hold
is
on,
the
you said
case it's
what?
a smaller sample size, it's still going to create some probability towards it, because I'm
You
just
said
using
people believe
consistency
it?
here
You
to
said
build the
people believe it?
probability.
Oh, and you said what about the rumor? You said
Hold,
people
hold up,
believe it and
and
people
then when
refer
you
back
call
to it?
into question who actually made this rumor,
Wait,
again,
can
I
you
don't
answer my
really
question
care who
first?
made it. What I'm telling you is that since there's a general expectancy within the series that
Oh,
they
what
would
the fuck?
probably know how strong these other strong fighters are, they should have
General
a reliable
expectancy.
basis,
Okay, first of all,
and they should know
general
how strong Kaido
expectancy.
is as
Hold
well.
on. You said a bunch of things. First of all, I don't know anything about just like what you said about the rumor. I don't know people that believe it. I don't know people that said it. I don't know anything about it. That's one. Second of all, what do you think is expected there? And what do you mean by expected? You mean just given like a given hypothesis, like an event is more likely than another one? Because in that case, you'd have
Yeah.
to argue for that. Not even just it's more likely given your hypothesis rather than mine, but when you say something is more expected under a given hypothesis, you have to argue that that thing is even expected under your hypothesis in the first place. Right? So what do you think is expected there?
What I think is expected here for what specifically?
Like
I said a lot
whatever
of things.
claim you make, like whatever claim you're making there, like what do you think is expected there?
Oh yeah. Okay. So I think that it's expected that we do know that this is a commonly held belief within the series because we see multiple characters refer back to the rumor, and then we even show that Skull believes in it as well.
Well, and it's
And then Skull,
expected
he's like this
because
battle analysis. So him being a battle analysis, like that lends even more credence to my point as well.
okay, so it's expected because multiple people refer back to it. People
No,
refer back
yeah,
to it,
that it's expected that they do believe this
Yeah.
because I don't think that like
and
a bunch of people would say a rumor that only one person like believes. Like
no,
then it's
hold
not
on,
really a relevant
dude,
rumor.
dude, I'm asking you whether hold on, is your claim there that some people believe the rumor, or is the claim there that the rumor that some people believe is actually relevant enough to actually make us scale the character?
No,
Hold on,
what I'm saying
hold
is
on,
that
lay out the abductive case again. It's expected because multiple people refer back to it, and then what?
yeah, what I'm saying is that because multiple people refer back to it, we have a consistency
Okay, is that it?
of this
Is that all you
rumor.
said? Like, is that
Yeah,
all you're
and
saying
no,
for
that's
the
not all I
abductive
said. I
case?
also said I don't really care about the sample size of how many people believe it. I'm just saying off what we know, it seems that more people believe it. Because we don't know
More
everybody
people.
in
What
the
is
One
more
Piece verse.
people?
We don't know everything they believe. I think this is unreasonable to question, if anything. Like, so I'm gonna ask you like your basis for questioning that, like you did earlier.
What?
My
Hold
earlier
on.
point, but
Hold on. Hold on.
what?
Hold on. It's expected because multiple people refer back to it. What's expected? Hold on.
I already told you this. So
Wait, of what we know. Hold on. Of what we know, multiple people know about or believe it. Multiple people believe it. Okay. So that's the abductive case there. Can you tell me what's it's there? Look in chat. What's it's like? What's expected there?
okay, hold up. I'll check what you typed in chat, bro. But I thought I
I
clarified
just I
everything.
literally just dude. I literally wrote out what you said to me right now. Like I took several tries to write it out. What's it's like? What's the hypothesis there? Can you be clear?
Oh yeah, no. The thing that I'm saying is expected is the fact that multiple people believe in the rumor.
Okay, so the claim
There's a
is hold
consistency.
on. Multiple people believe
There's
the
a
rumor.
consistency of people that believe within the rumor. That's what you
What?
asked me.
Hold
Was
on, hold on. Believing the rumor. Did you know
yeah.
the hold on? Are you retarded? The claim is not whether or not multiple people believe it. The claim is whether or not multiple people believing it. Multiple, by the way, not two or three. Like presumably, like a lot of people believing the rumor. Hopefully, on your end, would be would be enough to say that he's the strongest character in the verse, so he's stronger than the kind of things. That's not what I'm asking there. What I'm asking you, what wants to be expected there is whether or not this rumor being believed by like an X amount of people will be something which is conducive towards your hypothesis rather than my hypothesis. Right. So I can explain, and this is as expected
Yeah, I
than my
already explained
hypothesis.
that.
Right?
Hold up,
Sorry?
you're not
Do you
gonna
think
call
my
me
hypothesis
retarded while
simply that
asking me to
no?
re-explain myself several times. Okay,
Hold on,
so
can you not talk over me like every time? Like you cry about me talking over you, and then you just talk over me.
yeah, okay,
Anyways,
you can know.
yeah, can you? Yeah, thank you. Anyways, if your claim is simply that multiple people believe it, then we can move on because that's not what the
Yeah, we
claim.
can move on then.
Like that's
That's
not the
fine.
claim that I'm asking you for.
That's not all I
Right, then
said,
you
but
didn't
yeah,
even
we go.
you didn't even argue for it to be expected either. You just said that it is expected. But
Yeah, okay. So besides that, there was one more point
hold
that I
on, I'm
wanted
not
to
done
go through.
speaking. I'll tell you why, dude. Can
Didn't
you
you
be
want to move
patient?
on?
Like holy fuck, I'm not done speaking. You can say that we can move on after I'm done speaking. Holy fucking shit. Anyways, as I was saying, uh, what was I saying? For why was I skeptic on it is because for you to say or for you to add all these properties to the rumor saying that okay, well, it's something which accurately tracks probability, something that is held by many people, something that is held by accurate sources of information that can actually internalize facts. We don't know anything about the rumor such that you can actually make those claims. So that's why I'm asking you that. It seems unclear to me. But besides that, if that's the abductive case, is that like do you really want to sign off on this being the abductive case? Because this doesn't prove either the claim that the rumor is actually going to be conducive to probability, or nor did you actually argue for it to be more expected than your hypothesis than my hypothesis.
Wait, hold up. I think I explained everything for this point specifically.
Okay,
If we
so
can
what's
move
the
on from
abductive?
this.
Can you lay out the abductive case? Like, is it like more virtuous?
Did you
Like, what do you
not
think
just
is
tell me to move
actually
on?
the?
Okay. We see
No,
you
I
claim.
want to move on, but at the same time, I want to be clear on what you're saying. Like, I think everyone wants to be clear on what you're saying
Okay.
because I think you don't
I
like
mean,
you don't even
I
understand what you're
think
saying
that
yourself.
they are clear. I mean, if they're not clear, we can check back and react. That's fine. What you're not going to do is call me retarded and then ask me to repeat my argument like 10 times. That's like.
Hold on, Wisam, what do you think he sneaked? He didn't sneak anything in. He just said that it's more expected. I don't think it's expected. Whatever you said about the abductive case, I don't grant any of that.
I mean, I didn't sneak anything in. You just didn't track anything I said. But do you want to move
What do
on?
you think I did in shock? What the fuck?
I already
Hold on,
told
does
you
anyone
this.
else? Hold on, does anyone think that I didn't check? Hold on. Does anyone think Gyro didn't check? Let's go. Yes. Let's run the polling shot. If that's the abductive case, you just lost the debate. Like, there's no point in continuing, right? But do you want me to argue from my position? Because like it's like really clear. You just lost at this point.
There's one more thing that I think that you questioned. Okay, so you questioned how
I
it's
just know, bro,
referring
if
to.
nobody, like, if people don't vote on the poll, I'm gonna ban all of you. Yeah, everyone go vote on my poll. I'm gonna ban all of you guys. What are you saying? Say.
Yeah, okay, so did you also question how if it's linked back to survivability, that would be linked back to overall combat?
Yeah, like if the claim there is that people can accurately have intuitions regarding someone's survivability, which, by the way, that's also unclear to me. I don't know why that would be the case. But okay, so we can go and claim. You say that instead of it being like a claim about Kaido's overall strength, it'd be like a claim about how survivable he is. And then from that,
No,
you have to
I
argue
think
that
it'd be
from the
claim
fact
about
that he's
both.
survivable, it seems like he'd also be like a stronger fighter in relation to other fighters.
Well, I mean, him being survivable, but it's not just that. We also have things such as a statement that's saying he has unmatched physical strength. I just think that these factors are what cause him to be the strongest. And then you said you don't know if you can
Unmatched
actually make
physical
claims.
strength? Can you prove that? Like, can you prove
Whoa.
that? He doesn't have unmatched physical strength. Can you prove that?
Yeah, no, that's just stated outright. I'll get you the statement for that. But what up?
Okay, sure.
Wait, actually, Oshi,
That's-
you're here. Can you send that statement that says
You're not
that says he
arguing
has
from. I guess you're not arguing for the strongest creature statements anymore. You're saying that because he has unmatched physical strength, he's the strongest. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think that there's multiple things that make him the strongest, but I think
It's
that
not the
him having
strongest
unmatched
creature
physical
statement
strength.
because the strongest creature statement. I told you the semantics there are just too unclear for. Hold on.
Yeah, you believe they're unclear. We
He's
already
not
went over
paying
this.
everyone
So
in chat. Holy fuck. Hold on. The semantics there are either unclear or when they are specified, it seems like it's gonna just lead you in a hole, basically. All right. But yeah, if you want to argue for other statements, we can get over that. But I don't think that him being stronger physically anyway is gonna be conducive towards him being stronger as a fighter, because we know that they kind of just is
yeah,
fast,
no, I mean, we
has good
can't go
AP,
through other stuff, but
and
I
melt
just
his
want
head
to
off, etc.
get. Well, hold on. I want to address the thing that you tried slipping in. Okay, so you tried asking me why it's going to
I
be the
didn't slip
case that these
anything.
survival intuitions would map back onto probability. I already gave you like an example, the bear example. Again, like you have the instinct to eat.
Obviously, I have an example, but that just begs the question. Like, if you plug in the same variables to like
Well, it doesn't beg the
an
question
analogous
unless you
example,
put it into
the
question.
point is, I put it. What do you think I'm fucking doing there? Obviously, I'm putting it to question. Anyways, if you plug in the variables within like a given scenario into an analogous example, all that's meant to do there is to try to extrapolate your view for me to be more clear on it, not try to prove your own fucking claim. That begs the
No, I
question.
understand that. That's not what I'm saying.
That has
But
zero dialectical force. Okay,
wait,
so what are you doing there? You have like a reason to actually say that
no, what
their
I'm saying
their
is I
fucking
gave you like
intuitions
a
about how
question, right?
survivable
And
the
then
guy is.
you dodged that.
They
You didn't
think
question my claim either.
I didn't. What did I dodge? What the
Yeah, I
fuck?
asked you the question. Okay, so if you see a bear, and then I'm pretty sure. Wait, no, you might have even answered this. Yes. Okay, so if you see a bear, and then you're like a caveman, your first instinct is going to be to run away from the bear, and you're going to be able to infer that that bear is stronger than you.
That's just a survival instinct. I don't think that.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
saying
like obviously,
survival
like you're gonna have a
instincts
survival
map on
instinct.
to
That's not what I'm
reality.
asking you
Is
there.
what I'm saying. So
I
you're
agree
granting what
with
I'm saying
that.
then?
I agree that survival instincts are going to be something that helps us survive in nature. I don't agree that your survival instincts in One Piece are going to help you accurately derive a person's strength or how quote unquote survivable they are. Even if you're a caveman and running away from a bear, you don't know how survivable the bear is. You don't know if you can fucking drop a small rock on his head, it's going to fucking die or something. Like, you don't know
Well,
anything about the bear.
survivability is going to be something that inherently is related to your physical attributes. So that's not true.
Wait,
If they
what do you
see
mean?
how
What do you mean
strong
by no
Kaido is,
there?
how strong he's.
Like, what do you mean by no there? Do you mean
What?
what do you mean by no there?
No, as in that's wrong, and I'm telling you why. The reason why is
What?
because
No, isn't that strong?
survivability is
Like, I'm
something that's
asking you, like, what do you
inherently
mean by
related
no?
to your
Like, do you
physical
mean
attributes, which is
hold on,
strength, speed.
hold on. We need to be clear on this. Do you mean no, as in you have some sort of disposition towards? Wait, I'm asking like no, as in you know something, not no. That's wrong. That's what I'm saying. Do you
Oh,
mean you know
okay. Can
the
you repeat what you
bear?
said then? Because I might have misunderstood.
Yeah, do you know the bear is survivable in virtue of just having some sort of disposition to believe it, or like you know it in virtue of actually being justified in believing it? Like, what do you mean there? Because it seems like you don't actually mean like no, as in you actually know something. It means like you just mean no, as in you're equivocating on knowing something and having
Okay,
an
so what is the
intuition towards
distinction between
something.
these two things?
Well, intuition and knowledge is just not the same thing. right? You just take the more conditions knowledge. If you take like a JTBA kind of knowledge, which I don't do, then obviously it's not just intuition.
Wait,
or you can
listen.
take
What
like
I'll
other
say to
kinds of
this is, I
knowledge.
don't care about what you formulate like your conditions of knowledge to be. Even
No,
if you
but
don't take it to be
what
knowledge,
do you mean
wait,
by
I'm
that's
just
what I'm
saying that
saying? Like it's
the
not a justified
intuition
claim.
adds credibility towards it being true, independent of if you think that it's knowledge. How does that
What?
like defeat my claim? I'm
No,
maybe
because
misunderstanding
the
something.
point
Can you
is that
clarify?
like if you don't know whether or not the bear is survivable there, you just have some sort of intuition towards that. Then it seems like we wouldn't know that Kaido is either survivable or that Kaido is survivable such that he's a stronger fighter, nor he's survivable such that he's a stronger fighter such that he actually beats Akainu. So all these are different claims. And if you don't know, like if you don't know any of that, or if the characters that you're actually relying back on don't know any of that, then you just concede your own claim. Are you retarded?
So you're saying that intuitions, they don't constitute knowledge? Why?
What when you say what does that even mean? Do you mean
Hold up.
like
They're not
having
identical to
intuition?
knowledge, but you're saying that they can't
What?
correlate to your knowledge, or like, what are you saying?
Correlates as in they can be like pieces of information or data that you actually analyze towards getting knowledge. You can do that, that's fine.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's
saying
exactly what
whether or
I'm
not
saying.
okay, so can you prove that the intuitions there are going to be conducive towards knowledge? That's what I'm
Oh, well, if
asking.
that's all you're saying, I thought you were saying something different. Then we can just move on. I think I addressed this.
You addressed this. You said that you can have an accurate intuition on whether or not you're going to die in a fight. That's not the same thing to say that I accurately derive how quote unquote survivable you are. And then that doesn't tell me anything about how much I know about you as a fighter and how much I know of you as a fighter in relation to other fighters. Are you fucking stupid?
Wait, the reason why you know you're gonna die, like, is because of how strong the bear is? Like, are you fucking retarded?
No, because you
That
have
part you
an
disagree with?
holy fuck. No, you know, okay, hold on. You have an intuition that you're gonna die against the bear. Presumably how big the bear is, how the bear sounds, how fucking furry the bear is. You see the fucking big claws in his fucking hand. Like it's not because
Okay.
you make
Yeah, size and claws.
you
That
make a
constitutes his strength.
hold
Right?
on, sorry. You don't make an inference based on what like your like you internalize that I guess you could say internalizing his strength and actually looking over his strength and saying, okay, well, this guy's strong. Yeah. You make that inference and then you get the intuition. And intuition, by definition, is just a disposition to believe something. I can give you like a more, I guess, detailed definition, but for now, we can operate on the dot. So that's
Okay, so
all that means
intuition
there.
by definition is what? Can you like type that in chat?
Yeah, sure. I just give you my connotation. It's like you can look over the SCP for intuitions as well. It's pretty simple, but hold on.
So are you saying that what I'm saying isn't an intuition and it's something else?
No, it'd be like an intuition, but I'm just saying that the intuition is there unless you argue that they're conducive towards knowledge in a reliable way. Then you just lose the debate because that's all you fall back upon. You just intuition bump me.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go like to eat. Do you mind just concluding the debate here?
Yeah, sure, man. Like if you want to
All right.
conclude here, that's great.
All right. I gotta go.
Yeah, good job, man. Anyway, here's